I'm Alessandra Barrett, Senior Content Editor for JOC. I'm at our Inland Distribution Conference, and I'm speaking with Chris Chase, Marketing Manager for the Port of LA. Thanks for joining me today, Chris.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
How did your business change immediately after the West Coast disruption?
It was a long time in coming to solve that problem, and the biggest thing was we had a fleet of ships waiting offshore that had to be unloaded, and we had weeks, months worth of cargo that was sitting offshore not doing anything productive, and that was the hardest thing for our business to recover from. We had to really get our business and our customers, which are the terminal operators in our case, to get there, do their thing and get those things offloaded as fast as we could. And then the other part was, of course, a lot of the cargo was getting moved to other locations, and that was the hardest part of the recovery. Was we unloaded the ships, we did pretty well, we got things moving again, but it was still digging out for weeks and weeks and weeks. Once we got to the end of that, a lot of the cargo was still being moved to other locations, and that's the hardest part of this. And that was the biggest thing that changed. And fortunately for us, now that things have kind of normalized, we're starting to see some of that cargo come back, which is very exciting. But that initial loss of cargo was very telling about how fluid the situation can be, and more importantly, how devastating this was to the industry in general.
There's a lot of talk about the effect of e-commerce, but from your perspective, does it really change how business is getting done?
From the port's point of view, it really doesn't, because we don't see it at that level that you would as a consumer. Cargo still comes in, but the change is really what it does after it gets to the port. Are you going someplace to an e-commerce warehouse versus a retail warehouse? And it's really more semantics of the cargo owner, but it's been a big boon for business because it's changed the way we buy things, which of course changes the way the supply chain works. It doesn't necessarily change how the waterfront works, it doesn't change how we unload a ship or how we do it, but it does change where that cargo goes. And it's also the speed in which you need it, and then also how you're ordering. You're ordering for the entire country to one warehouse, whereas in some cases you're ordering just for Southern California, you're ordering just for Chicago, you're somewhere else in the country, wherever you're doing. And it really is a consolidation or a centralization of a lot of cargo. That's probably the bigger change. Again, doesn't necessarily impact us on the waterfront as much on the water side of things, but as it leaves the port, either via truck or a train, or another big piece of our business, which is transloading into domestic equipment, those have all changed quite dramatically over the last decade or more that we've really been getting on this e-commerce. And now that the internet keeps growing and growing and developing different ways, these supply chains all have to react to that. And some of it's very apparent, other ones are much more subtle, and we're still developing and see what happens. But on the water side, people still want the cargo. It's still made overseas. We bring it across the dock. We have to unload that ship. We don't really know where it's going at that point, but once it leaves, that's where it gets really exciting.
You've come inland to Memphis. It's certainly a powerful location. Is the hub and spoke model evolving?
Yes, it is. The hub and spoke model is definitely evolving. Same reason we have the people here today at this conference. There is an idea which goes back to our e-commerce question. Hub and spoke, you bring it to one spot and send it out. In the past, you did it via dedicated trucks to your storefront. Now it's, well, some of it's going to your storefront, other parts are going to small package delivery, which is one of the reasons we're in Memphis, thanks to FedEx and their big operation here. You can get anywhere in the country literally overnight, and that's what they offer. That's what you can do with e-commerce here. That's the same reason we're in Memphis. It's the connectivity to anywhere and everywhere, and that's really the big advantage of Memphis. That's a big area of these inland locations. Whether it be here in Memphis or some other inland locations, people are putting their distribution centers where they can get to the best bang for the buck to get the cargo to the people. That cargo in the retail environment obviously is you can come in a small package to your door front, or is it going to a storefront near you that you want to shop at? And it's all that. But Memphis is centrally located, and that makes the beauty of it. And more importantly, for us on the port side of things, whether it be our port or any other port, is you have multiple Class 1 railroads calling here, which means we can build those big trains that you need for efficiency. You have the frequency of service. And that's a big key of it, because obviously if you only have one train a week going to Memphis and you miss that train, your cargo's sitting for another week. Memphis being a big hub location can build that dedicated fleet or that dedicated amount of cargo that needs to go there. It's easy to build a train, and that's a big win for this area. That's why we come here, and the 3 Class 1s who serve here obviously make that a big priority for their business.
Well, thanks for taking time from the conference. It was great to hear your perspective, Chris.
Thank you very much.
I've been speaking with Chris Chase, Marketing Manager for the Port of LA.